1 minute.
I've got 50 slides, I'm going to need at least a minute and a half. So, export strength importing. Yes, that was a lager reference. I have indeed heard of lager. I would honestly rather drink my own piss. Don't ask me how I know that. Moving on. So, in days of yore, and by days of yore I mean Moose 0.18, I was working on a thing called Reaction, which was basically kind of a meta MVC framework, which basically consisted of taking catalysts and all sorts of other stuff, going, ooh, shiny, throwing lots and lots and lots of meta protocol at it, and then going, no, I don't know where to find anything. Don't overuse the mop, kids. Anyway, moving on. We had a thing called Reaction Class, which was a custom exporter, because basically I hate boilerplate. So what Reaction Class's import did was it imported straight, then it imported warnings, and then it went and imported moves. So you're immediately thinking, doesn't Moose already do that? Well, the answer is it did once Stephen stole that code. Which was nice, but I was trying some slightly more clever things as well. Like I had a Reaction Web App class that was basically a custom catalyst exporter. So you had an import that would unshift some extra plugins and then go to that catalyst import. And segfault. This was a bug in 5.8.4. Somebody discovered that there was a potential memory leak in the way that the stack was handled. They fixed it a little bit too enthusiastically and went from never freeing it to freeing it too early. That was really great because, of course, it segfaulted like 73 things later. Fun to find, never mind. But even if not, you can't export two things that way because you can only go to once. You know, once is bad enough, twice the ghost of Jeekstra comes back and hits you with a mallet. And also, primers and normal exporters require completely different handling because, well, there's more than one way to do it and you'll always try the wrong one first. So I eventually figured out how to fix that and wrote up a module called import into. And I already inflicted the guts of that on you in my lightning talk last year, so I'm not going to cover that again. Instead, I'm going to talk about how I use it. So, we can have an import that does strict import into, warnings import into, you give it a caller level, catalyst import into, and that doesn't fucking segfault, even on 5.8.4. I have no idea about 5.6 compatibility. Presumably, if anybody cares, Ribasushi will patch it. So, given we have that as an example, if you already have a MyApp types, which is using type library, this is basically the successor to MooseX types. If you are using Moose and using string types, you are either Stephen Little or bad and wrong. Actually, that's not an exclusive or, but moving on. So, I often have a custom exporter. I have a MyApp class and a MyApp role, and the class one will export strictures, then it'll export my type constant, sets moo up, maybe some random Moose extensions, and then namespace clean at the end. To try and clear all the crap I've just stuffed into it out of my namespace. At which point you can do has foo and pass it a type constant, and that's really nice. If you want a custom superclass, don't try and be clever. Just use caller and can, pull the extends, call the extend subroutine. You can do the same thing to apply a role. And then type assertions. TypeTiny provides type assertions. If you import it with colon assert, you then get an assert underscore type name subroutine, so you can litter your code with that, which I do quite a lot when debugging on the grounds. It's almost certainly a stupid mistake, but I need Perl's help to tell me exactly which stupid mistake of mine is the bug at the moment. And cue the thing of, but type checking is slow. Yes, but not as slow as debugging without them. So we need to find the compromise. How do we compromise? Well, what we do is we declare a constant MyApp debug, which is populated from the environment variable, bang bang to boolify it, because you might as well. And then what you can do is say, okay, import the types.
1 minute.
If debugging is on, you import with insert. What goes in there? Well, what you do is you grab the caller, grab the list of types out of the library, no strict refs, shove a bunch of subroutines into the namespace that are empty, at which point you're effectively declaring no op subroutines, so those stop being a problem. That's great. Okay, but what about has? Well, what you do for that is you pull the original has out, no warnings redefined, wrap it in something that just deletes the is, and bang, done. So now is a no op unless you're in debug mode. Put it all together, you get that, which is some of the most beautiful code I've written in my life, clearly. So let's extract that out. Don't mind the noises. So you create a thing called my app type fakery. Type fakery, by the way. I was very careful. It took me 3 attempts to type that right. Put that all together, and then if you're in the else case, you just import that instead of the assertions, and it strips all of the type checks away, and that is how you can has it all. Yes, that was a terrible lolcat joke, and here's a summary because I'm sure you missed half of the code on the way past. Those are the basic techniques. Thank you very much.